All right, good morning, everybody. It's Monday, starting our week off together with Wake Up and Resell on Facebook pages, Reseller Revenue. And I had a busy start to the morning. So the news is my eBay's back to normal. The bad news is there was 66 things to ship. So if you do that, you should probably be shipping the night before. So lesson learned there. We're going to talk about our metrics, do our Monday metrics together, which my metrics have been shaky at best with a bunch of false INAD issues I'm working on. So we can learn from those and how I've been handling those. And then we're going to talk about the payment section and our fees section because we really need to understand that stuff on eBay to make sure that things are going the way they're supposed to go and that we handle any issues we have with it appropriately. So I will share my screen here. And we'll do our Monday metrics quick and get it out of the way. Otherwise, I tend to forget that on Monday, and it's something I really want us to be able to continue doing. So, all right, just pick a screen from eBay to start with. We'll run down this really quick. The first thing I like to do is go to your orders tab up here at the top and go to returns to see if we have anything that we need to handle with our returns. As you guys know, I've just been having an onslaught of returns lately. So I just looked down them real quick. So they didn't like it. This is all the same person. It was all the same order. She just wanted to return everything. And then she picked one that said arrived damaged, which it wasn't. She said she just hit the wrong button. So I got to get it fixed. And this one was a total scam, guy. I reported the buyer and I haven't heard anything else. So make sure that we are not having any reds here that says that we have to handle it by a certain date, or make sure that we don't have anything we need to do. So these are all just waiting the people to send it back. So then I go over here to the left-hand side and I go to requests and disputes. Make sure I don't have any of those open. Luckily I don't. If you have anything in this screen at all, make sure we are paying really close attention to it because it can kind of go from a bad to worse thing really quick. So just pay attention to that. If it's lots of times we just need to upload the tracking, don't think just because the tracking number's in there that that's fine. It's not. You need to go in, upload the copy and paste the tracking number and kind of regenerate it a little bit. So pay attention to that. Then I go to performance. No, yes. And I go to seller level. And I want to just make sure to see where we're at. I was kind of nervous about the one they just did. They reevaluate us every month on the 20th, but I'm okay for the 20th, but now they're including September in the next one. So I think that's going to be my rough one. We'll just have to wait and see. Everything looks okay right this second, but as long as I don't have any more, we should be okay. Let's go through this. Do you have any defect rates? This should always be 0. And if it's not, we need to figure out what's going on. Late shipment rate. I have 1. I know what happened there. Just try to keep that to a minimum. Cases closed without seller resolution. Hopefully we have 0. If not, again, we need to know what happened so it doesn't happen again. So, and then that's just our transactions and sales. So keep a hold on that. And then we'll go back to our dashboard here. Go to performance again and go to service metrics. This is our returns. This is my ugly page right now. So this is the one that's current. And that's June through August. So anything that includes my September is going to be rough on me. So this one isn't terrible. Go make sure we check this box too. So check both of them, INADs and item not received, which I think I have that one that the guy claimed that wasn't true, but just check both of those because they are different metrics. And then make sure that we're checking all of our different categories we sell in and our current rate, and then we can go to projected rate. And there's my 10. I think these were like 6 of them were issues that I reported. So hopefully we get these taken care of. I'm going to follow up with eBay today. It's the first time I've ever been above my peers with returns, so I think that's why I don't love it. But just check on these all the time, because if we don't know where we're at, then we don't know what's going on and we can't fix anything. Then also check your feedback score. Just make sure to see that we're keeping an eye on our negatives and neutrals. So in case we need to appeal anything or ask for a revision, keep an eye on those. Make sure that we're doing the right things. Make sure we're responding to things that need responded to. So That's all I have to say about that. It's just something I want to do together on Mondays because I think it keeps us all accountable, reminds us to do that. So today I want to talk about the payment screen, and I want to talk about I want to talk about a few issues I ran. So eBay had a big glitch last week. I'm not sure if you guys were affected, but like I couldn't list, and then when I could list, it was messed up. And then there was one whole day where the eBay site was down for part of the day, and it was kind of a mess. And I said that a few things got double listed while I was listing during that time, and I went and took care of them. One of those items I took care of double sold. So I can trace it back to the item number. I can see that the item was ended before it sold and it's still sold. So some of those, it was a really short period of time, like 15, 20 minutes right before the site went down, that things were just wrong. And I said that, and then one of those double sold. So I have to contact eBay today. There's nothing else I can do about it besides contact them and hope they cover any negative feedback or issues I have with that. Also, from that same time period, I got charged a whole second time for all the shipping labels, and it generated a second tracking number. No idea how that even happens. I have to call them today about that. So what I'm saying is last week when they were having those issues, I think it was like the 18th and 19th maybe, there was a few moments of glitchiness those days. Make sure, I think the 18th was the bad one. Just go back and double check to make sure you don't have any issues. I hope you don't, but I did. So like I said, I'm always putting myself out there, sharing my screen so I can teach you guys things. I don't really care that you guys see what my payouts and stuff are. It doesn't matter to me. But we need to be able to read our payment screen, and we need to be able to understand what these numbers mean. So the total funds right here. So that's your number in your big box.
Carrie, how did you get there?
Oops, sorry. Good point, Larry. Thank you. Right here at the payments tab up at the top. And I will say that I got my biggest payout I've ever gotten from eBay this morning, so I was pretty happy about that. And I'm on a daily schedule, so I was pretty excited. The total funds here, it is all your earnings, whether it's accessible to you or not. So it's the processing here. You'll see down here is a different number. So our total funds is the total funds, whether you can get to it or not. The bottom one is what's processing. And the processing means it's not available for the payout yet, but you can use this money to buy shipping labels and to cover selling expenses. So it's available to you for your shipping and stuff, but it's not available for a payout yet. So then here you could also have a line that says on hold. And sometimes I think people jump to the conclusion that if it's on hold, you did something wrong. Sometimes there's just things that happen. There's different kinds of holds. So a transaction hold means that there's a certain buyer transaction that they're looking at. Maybe you used it's like they hold it for the 2 days, but they can hold it depending on your seller status. They can hold it depending on your changes to your account status. So if you got downgraded or we're having a bunch of problems all of a sudden, they can put things on hold if you're new or if you're like a hobby seller and you're not on here very much. Then all of a sudden pop back on the scene. They might hold your funds for a little bit. If you've been previously restricted or suspended, they can hold your funds. They can, I didn't know this, but it says that if you have something in eBay authentication, they can hold your funds until your item is authenticated. So there's different reasons you can have funds on hold. Just know why your funds are on hold in case there's something you need to be doing, like replying back to eBay with about a question or further information. Just make sure that you know why it's on hold. There's also payment dispute holds, which means the item hasn't arrived and the customer's filed a payment dispute. So obviously know if that's happening because we need to be working on tracking that item and working with the customer. The payout holds are different. They are like registration holds is one kind of hold that eBay has. And that's if they ask you for more information. So they may ask you for more information that they asked you at registration, something doesn't jive, they didn't get all of it. Make sure you're responding to any requests from eBay asking for further information, or they will hold your payouts. If you're restricted and they ask you for something very specific, sometimes it's like your W-9 and again, it's just them asking for information and you need to provide it as quickly as possible. And then there's performance holds. So if you had any unusual activity in your account, like a high increase in customer claims, you had sudden changes in your selling activities, like if you've just been a hobby seller and now you're selling, you know, $10,000 in a week, they may put your items on hold just to make sure that you follow through with your orders and make your customers happy and everything gets to where they need to go. A bunch of late deliveries, they can also put your payouts on hold if you have a bunch of late deliveries. So yet another reason why making sure our metrics are on point is really important. Or if you have a sudden increase in negative feedback, they can also start holding your payouts. So a really common reason is an invalid payment method. So let's say you forget and it's hooked to your debit card and your debit card expires and you don't update that information. They'll give you like one email that says, hey, you need to update this. And if you don't, they'll put your payouts on hold because they have nowhere to put it. They have nowhere to send your money to. So sometimes I feel like we panic really quickly when we have a hold, when really on all reality, most of the time we just need to know why and take care of it. Tax info also is a huge one. So if they're requesting a W-9 or they cannot validate your W-9, they will put them on hold. So those are reasons I can think of that they will put your items on hold or your payments on hold. People also want to know, when am I going to get paid? So once the order is confirmed, it's going to be available within 2 business days if you're on available for your payout schedule the next 2 days. So if you're on a weekly payout, they initiate payments on Tuesdays for the sales made the last Monday through Sunday for the previous week. They initiate the payments on Tuesday for that. It also takes like 2 to 3 business days for your bank usually to process it. So that doesn't mean the money's going to be in your bank on Tuesday. It just means they start the process on Tuesday. If you're bi-weekly, you get paid every second Tuesday, and monthly is the first Tuesday of the month. Payouts appear as funds sent, and that's where they take the 1 to 3 business days sometimes to hit your bank and to show up in your bank account. Eligible sellers payouts, you can have eligible sellers can have the payouts on demand. I have not ever done this. It costs an extra fee. I don't need it that badly. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know if anybody else has or has any experience with it, but it says your money's available within 30 minutes. But it has to be put to a Visa or MasterCard debit card for you to get those. So I don't have any experience with it. Maybe it's wonderful. I don't want to pay the fee. If you want to change your payment status or your payment, how you're getting paid, you can do that by going to this, and then you go to the seller settings. So I haven't ever done this, so we're gonna figure it out together here.
Come here.
Suzanne's over there talking to Cookie. So you can do this. I'm not really sure if you're already on. So I read that if you're already on daily payouts, that then you can't change how we do this. So I'll have to look it up and I'll report back to see how you change your actual payment. If you want to go to, like, if I wanted to change to weekly, how would I change to weekly type of thing? So here's where it tells me that I can change. I haven't done this shopping thing either. Some people, I don't know if anybody's done this, where you're going to roll and you can use that money to shop. Here's where you look to see your instant payments. And this is like a loan thing. So I haven't looked into that either because I'm not interested. So, oh, here you go. Here's where you manage your payment method. So if I got a new bank account, I got a new debit card, I want to link it to, right here, I would hit the manage. And this is all under your payments. This is the payment summary screen from the top payments tab. Here's your payout daily. You hit this, I could change it to weekly, monthly, whatever I want to do. This is also where we can create some reports. You can download our financial statements. If I had a tax invoice, or here's my my 1099K from 2023. So there's lots of good information here on your payment screen. Make sure that you are familiar with it. Here also, we needed to make sure we have a bank account that's always got money in it or credit available for selling costs, because if you don't have enough money available in your funds in eBay, they need to be able to pull money from somewhere for your shipping labels and stuff. And you definitely don't want to not be able to have money available for shipping, because that's going to cause you problems. So I gotta move my Zoom box. That is what I know about payments. And then if we we can also now we're going to go to the selling fees. So does anybody have any quick questions about the payment screen or what we need to be doing in this payment screen? We can take questions afterwards too. Just wanted to see if there was anything I missed on this screen since. All right, so in the fees, we can see lots of our fees here in our recent activity. So we have different kinds of fees, and actually I'm going to quit sharing my screen here. We're going to just talk about it. If you go into your transaction details or your transaction where it breaks it down for you for your transactions, you're going to see different kinds of fees. And some of this stuff I didn't really necessarily realize before I looked it up for you guys, so I find it really interesting. And I think you guys will too. Oh my gosh, Autumn's tired this morning. Okay.
I'm alive.
Going through. I'm so glad.
I
So
know.
glad you're back.
Such a whirlwind.
So people have asked me about this, and I was incorrect, or I think maybe when some people have asked me about that 30-cent fee, but they told me that it was when they were listing, right? A 30-cent per transaction fee when they were listing. And so to me, that means like that fee if you don't have enough free listings, which is true. So there's insertion fees. There's insertion fees. You get so many free listings. If you don't have a store, it's 250. If you have a store, it depends on what level store you have. You need to make sure that you know how many, I call them free listings. Basically, it's listings before you're charged. After that, you will be charged a per listing per category fee. And you will also be charged then on our original listing, and you'll be charged again if it relists in 30 days. So those are called good until canceled listings, which I believe most of us are doing. So there's the fee calculators you can look up on eBay, and I can post one of those if you guys need me to. That is basically will tell you where's your break even point for a store, at what point do we need to upgrade stores and all that good stuff. So the final value fee, I think we're all familiar with our final value fee. It's when your item sells. So we get charged nothing until the item sells for our final value fees, and it's a % of the total order, and it's a per order fee. So this, I think, is the question people were trying to ask me, but I was taking it as a when I listed fee. So, sorry, my dog is really snoring today. There's so for $10 or less per order, we do get charged a 30-cent transaction fee per order, which, to be quite honest with you, I didn't. If I did know, I was lumping it under my final value fee. So we do get a 30-cent per order fee, transaction type fee per order. That is on items, the orders are $10 or less. $10 an order, we're getting charged 40 cents per order. This amount is based on the item price, handling fees, shipping costs, and sales tax. An order is any number of items purchased by the same buyer at checkout with the same shipping address. So this is not have anything to do with how big your store is. Doesn't matter what your store subscription is. This is a per order fee that eBay's charging us. So, and Russell dropped something in the chat that is will be handy for you to be able to help out with what size of store you need, or if you need to get a store, how many listings you may need for that. So I was I don't know why I didn't know about this 30 cents, and 40 cents, but we need to be aware of it. The percentage of our final value fee is different for every category. You type in final value fees on eBay, it will tell you what your percentage is depending on what categories you're listing in. If you're an everything seller, of course, this is going to change depending on what item sold that day. This is a good point, and this is something I don't know that I've read in detail before, but there's an additional final value fee for anything that makes them think you're buying or selling outside of eBay or trying to get their information. So I know that in this group, we are very good about saying we do not try to do any off-platform things. We don't have writing on our listings. We don't put business cards in our listings. The only thing I could think of that this might apply to is those of us that put business cards in our orders. But the actual order is complete at the time. But it says if they find that you're trying to basically negotiate with them off platform or giving other people types of deals or whatever off platform, they are going to assess us additional fees. those fees are going to be based on the total item of the not sold. So these aren't sold, right? So they think you're selling off platform or trying to get people's information to do deals off the platform. They're going to assess these fees on items you haven't sold yet. It's going to be based on the price listed or agreed upon in a message. So if you agree on a message and say, hey, I'm going to sell this to you more off platform, they're going to do it on whichever one is higher. If it was an auction item that now you're like, okay, I'll take it off auction, I'll sell it to you off platform, they're going to charge you based on the buy it now or the reserve or whatever they see you said in the message, whichever one is highest. So these are items that haven't even sold yet. So basically this is how they're going to slap your hand and tell you, we don't allow that. We tell you in the rules, we don't allow that. So if they caught you doing that, you could have a whole lot of fees on things that never sold. So just don't do that. We don't have to worry about it. If we don't meet eBay's expectations, they start slapping our hand with more fees also. If you are below standard on the 20th of the month when they do the evaluations, you will be charged an additional 6% fee for the month. If you have an increase in INADs in the very high category, on the 20th of the month, you will be assessed an additional 5%. If you have both problems going on, they're only going to charge you the 6%, not both, is what they tell me. I thought it was both. Apparently they say it's not. So there's two ways you can get slapped on the hand with fees, and that's below standard, or if you have an increase in INADs in the very high category. If you are found responsible for a disputed claim, like it didn't go into your favor, you're going to get charged 20 bucks. So basically that's with chargebacks and stuff like that. You get charged $20 if you don't win, basically, which is like a double whammy, right? So you lose, you got to pay, and now you got an extra fee and you lost. Like that's kind of a not great thing. eBay international fee, which is not eBay international program. So eBay international program, this does not apply. The eBay international fee is if we're sending directly to any address outside the US, there's a 1.6% fee. So that's what I have on that. Let's look at the chat here. So Harry says you also get a 10% reduction on the final value fee for top rated plus items. Yes, so top rated plus items, basically we're doing free returns and to the buyer, and we have to be in the above standard. What else is there? Is there any other things I'm missing that we have to do to be top rated plus?
You have to be top rated, not above standard.
Oh, top rated. It's top rated. Sorry. He's correct. It is top rated. So make sure that we are top rated. Make sure that we're doing free returns. You can pick and choose. You do not have to have all of your items be top rated plus. Oh, that's right. I knew I was missing something. I'm like, come on. Same day or 1 day shipping. That's another big one. Free returns, be top rated plus, and same day or 1 day shipping. I totally knew the top rated plus thing. I'm just not looking at anything and I can't talk this morning. So absolutely it's worth it. But if there's something that you don't want to offer free returns on or something huge or whatever, you can just not do it on that one, and just that one item won't be top rated plus. And I've done that before. It's not a big deal. You can choose to not do that. So that is the gist of that part. I'm going to end the YouTube portion of this, and then we're going to go privately and we're going to talk about a few things I've noticed, things that have been happening. If you want to join us, go to our Reseller Revenue Facebook group, join us there. We also put all of our videos on the Patreon, and we also release a lot of them to YouTube. So